Recording in progress.
It is 5 o'clock, and I will call the Richland County Development and Services Committee meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Brenham,
Here.
Teratio, Barron,
Here.
English,
Present.
Newton.
Here.
Teratio is here. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Ratio. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 2 is the approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Are there any changes or comments from the body or from staff? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Brenham,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item 3 is our adoption of the agenda. I'll look to Mr. Brown to see if you have any changes.
No requested changes.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to adopt the agenda, adopt the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Brenham,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
We have 2 items for action on our agenda. Item 4A is the Department of Public Works Engineering quit claim deed for a portion of Olga Road. Mr. Brown, is there a member of staff who wants to speak to this?
Yes, ma'am. If you will recognize Director Mike Maloney, he will speak to item 4A.
Thank you. You're recognized, Director Maloney.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item is to, staff recommends approval of a quitclaim deed for part of the right-of-way of Olga Road. The new right-of-way has been established to align with the improvements. This is some excess land where once the platted or mapped right-of-way was in a different position and an improved position had been established. So this is known on the map of page 15 of your packet as parcel B. The county has no interest in that piece of land. It would be turned over to development. And so we request your approval to start that process. That would require council approval, 3 readings and a public hearing to dispose of that land.
Thank you. Are there any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Madam Clerk?
Brenham,
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item 4B, Department of Public Works, Jim Hamilton, LB Owens, approval of I'm assuming it's aviation, but maybe not. Aviation easement at 650 South Edisto Avenue Townhome Development. Mr. Brown, is there someone to speak to this?
Yes, Madam Chair, if you will recognize our General Manager for the airport, Mr. Peter Savalas, he will speak to item 4B.
Mr. Savalas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of council, good afternoon. The staff recommends the approval of the aviation easement for housing development located at 650 South Edisto Avenue. This is a development of townhomes that's within the approach to the north end of the runway 13 end. Due to the inherent risk of the development under the house, and considering it is being considered as incompatible land use, the easement offers airspace protection for the airport, holding the county and the airport harmless from any aircraft passing through the airspace over that. And the easement also recognizes the right of aircraft to cause noise, vibrations, fumes, deposits, or dust or fuel particles incidental to normal operations of aircraft. This development is within the city limits, and so it'll be recorded with the City of Columbia as part of their permitting process. And as a consideration, additional consideration, this was a similar easement was approved by council back in February for an adjacent townhome development. Council approved the same exact easement through that.
Thank you. Are there any questions about this aviation easement? Councilwoman Teresa, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I might have asked this for the other easement, but, in a case like this, is someone who would be moving into one of those townhomes, are they notified of the easement that, you are basically under an aircraft flight path? And that's not really this purview, but I just wonder if you know that.
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, that's what started this whole thing, is the insistence that they would recognize that, so that it protects the county from having to pay for any kind of like noise abatement or anything like that, because they're saying that the airplanes are flying over their house.
Okay, thank you, because, those would be people who would be constituents. And so anything that they're stepping into, I would hope that they would be notified of that.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly right.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Councilwoman Teresa?
That's it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions for the body about this aviation easement? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Madam Clerk, thank you for your timely reminder.
Branham,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item number 5 for information is a joint meeting with Lexington County concerning 40 Love Development. Mr. Brown?
Yes, I'm going to ask Director Williams to be recognized to address this matter. There is a document in your packet, but we do want to provide the opportunity to have Director Williams be recognized.
Thank you. You're recognized, Director Williams.
Thank you. Again, this is just for information to let you all know that there's a proposed development on 40 Love Road, which is in Richland County, District 1, but also split between Lexington County. And we took the proactive step of meeting with Lexington County's Community Development Department, as well as their Public Works Department, met with our Community Planning and Development and Public Works staff to discuss this potential development, because it would be split pretty much down the middle between Richland and Lexington counties. And so we talked about, storm drainage ownership and maintenance, road ownership and maintenance, inspections, and came to the realization that we would probably need an intergovernmental agreement drafted on who would be responsible for what when it comes to this subdivision, but that it could also be used for other potential subdivisions that may be split between Richland and Lexington County. So while we don't have a draft of an intergovernmental agreement together right now, we wanted to go ahead and let you know we had that meeting. We are discussing it, are aware of this subdivision split between the two counties, and we are working with Lexington County and hope to have some draft language related to how we will handle split developments in the future.
Thank you, and thank you for being proactive about this. So again, this is an item just for information, and when there is an IGA, it will come before the body. Are there any questions about this? You're recognized, Councilman Branham.
Thank you, and thank you to Director Williams for the update. Really good to hear that the two counties got together to chat about it. Wondered if the counties or if the conversation went to the point of actually discussing the location of the county line. Is there agreement between the two counties on the location?
No, we did not discuss specifically the location of the county line. That did not come up. The closest we got to that was talking about where that line falls, where the taxes may land, and that we have to get both of our assessors involved in that discussion, but that's the closest we came to that.
I think that'll be something that would be in the IGA, or probably not necessary for the nature of the agreement.
More than likely not. I do know there's some efforts at the states to verify all of the different county lines, but I don't know where we fall in that with our line with Lexington County. But in this discussion, we probably wouldn't touch that since we know the state's looking at all of the county boundaries.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Director Williams. Item 6, items for discussion. For the purpose of preserving the historical character of the Olympia neighborhood, I move to within 12 months create a neighborhood character overlay in tandem with an update to the neighborhood plan for the Olympia neighborhood. During this time, a moratorium on new construction, rezoning, demolition, and substantial rehabilitation, 50% or more of lot area, building square footage, change in use will be in place. That is in your packet, pages 23 through 97. Is there a member of staff who wants to share any updates beyond the architectural guidelines and the information in our packet?
I don't believe beyond the information that's in the packet, Madam Chair, but if there is a question regarding this matter, we certainly have Director Williams here and other members of the team, but there's no additional information beyond what's in the packet to share.
And just as a reiteration of where we are in the process, this is something that is still with the Planning Commission, is that correct?
I want to confirm with the staff where this is. Going to have Director Williams to come up and talk about where this is in the process.
Thank you. You're recognized, Director Williams.
Actually, the Planning Commission did approve, well, let me get this wording correctly. They did recommend the wording for the overlay district at their June meeting. So now it will come to this body for approval. It is currently being reviewed by our legal department to make sure the ordinance is in the correct format and legally sound. Once it completes that legal review, then it will come back to the DNS committee. And at that time, if there are any additional questions or if you'd like a certain type of presentation, I can do that as well.
Thank you. So again, here's an item for discussion. The item that will require a vote is not before us.
That's correct.
Thank you. And I know that I have a question, but are there any questions from other members of the body? Councilman Branham and then Councilwoman Barron.
Thank you. I just noted as well that in the packet that the recommendation included a request for county council to provide guidelines for the creation of a board of architectural review. As far as you know, do we have any other neighborhood master plan or other type of overlay that has a board of architectural review component?
No, sir. This would be the first one. And if the Board of Architectural Review is established, the plan is for any future architectural or character overlays. That board could also be the body for those overlay districts as well. That also is currently an ordinance to establish that is currently under legal review, and that would have to go to the Rules and Appointment Committee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Branham. Councilwoman Barron and then Councilwoman Teresa.
Thank you. So you did address one of my questions about the board. And then the other would be that I'm assuming that given we're getting ready to enter recess, that perhaps this item would be before us in September.
That is my goal. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and Councilwoman Barron, I just want to note that this body never has a recess. We meet every single month as per state
Correct.
statutes. So let's,
You're correct. We're temporarily on a leave of absence.
it is barely a leave of absence, Councilwoman Barron. We will absolutely be meeting in August. So let's not give people the wrong idea, however much you appreciate your 2 weeks, ma'am.
Give it to me now.
Councilwoman Teresa, you are recognized.
Thank you, and I feel the spirit of wanting a summer break. So my question was about timing as well, and I know that subsequent to the Planning Commission's recommended wording being approved, that the neighborhood continue to connect with staff around this. And I would just be curious, and it doesn't have to happen here, but just be curious about any notes or any flags that we should particularly pay attention to.
Some of the comments that we have received from the neighborhood are more process and procedural comments that we're trying to address through the standard operating procedure that I included as one of the drafts, and also through what the Board of Architectural Review would handle. If the neighborhood had any particular concerns related to the wording and wanted to recommend a substantial change to a requirement in the overlay, we would bring that to this board and not make that change on a staff level. We would, now that Planning Commission has made the recommendation, we would require either this board to send it back to Planning Commission or to make the recommendation to make a change based off of that feedback, if we felt that the feedback we received warranted the change. We have not gotten to that point where we feel like some of the feedback we've gotten thus far warrants a substantial change to the wording.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you. And again, I just want to state something that I think I've mentioned here before is as we move through this process, looking ahead, there might be other, well, I know for sure that there are other communities that are looking at overlays. I guess I just want to be clear on what council's role is in this process, because as much as I appreciate these architectural guidelines, I'm not an architect. And so while I feel comfortable making policy decisions, when I feel like I'm being asked, I mean, sometimes we get building standards, but we're not really approving the building standards. We understand that we're approving the recommendations of our staff there. And I guess I just want to be clear on what our role is, because this makes me feel a little bit out of my depth. So as we move forward, that's the request that I have.
Understood.
Any other comments from the body? Thank you. Then that brings us to item 7, which are items pending analysis, no action required. Attorney Wright, for this meeting, even though these are items that require no action, am I required to read all of these into the record, or can I refer to them by their item number on the agenda?
You can refer to them by their item number.
Thank you. So we have updates on each of these items from staff. Item 7A, regarding securing title to subdivision roads that were developed but never had ownership transferred to the county. Are there any questions from the body on this? Councilman Branham, you're recognized.
Thank you. In the briefing addendum, we've got these council inquiries and replies. That's new information to the committee, isn't it?
May I answer?
You're recognized. I apologize.
Yes, sir. That was in reference to questions that we received during committee meetings. And so the staff took that as a need to provide responses. And this is new information since those previous meetings.
Okay, so it seems like they're all directed towards the bonding process and like enforcing them when necessary, which is great information. But I want to make sure that we continue to prioritize the conveyance of title piece of things, which is, separate from the bonding piece. And we're at the 1-year anniversary of the motion. So I know we've seen a list before of subdivision roads, but I know the chair, she doesn't want to read the motion because it's been on the agenda so many times. But I'm trying to figure out, where are we going from here? So, can we get an update on the status of the roads that have been identified as issues related to conveyance of title and what the, recommended course of action is for the next, maybe a few months or whatever the case may be?
Madam Chair, we have Director Maloney who is here, who is prepared to provide an update and not to separate the issues out, but the staff's responses were just to the questions at the previous meeting that were asked to be answered. So we're not deviating from the initial motion. We were just responding to the committee's questions. So if you would recognize Director Maloney, Madam Chair, we'll proceed. with
Director
this item.
Maloney, you're recognized. And while he's walking up here, I forwarded him a message just today from a neighborhood that said, hey, we have these abandoned roads, so.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of council. The update, so really the second page of our briefing document talks about what it is we're doing. I think at one point when Director Williams was presenting, you heard of a number about 70 miles of road right away that's out there. 50 miles of that is in new development's hands now. Those are new developments underway. 20 miles are roads that we do need to investigate, that being one that was mentioned earlier. And then we have 3.6 miles of road that were approved by council to bring in. So I'll start with the status of that because it's the longest standing. That was 93 roads and 40 roads. So before my time, council approved 40 roads come into Richland County that may or may not meet standards, and then another 93 about when I started in 2020. So that was quite a few miles of road with those two lists. That's down to the road shown on page 103 of your packet, also in the upper right corner of it. I know it's landscape attachment to the abandoned roads. And so roads that I may have met with other council members about today, like Rice Creek Farms Road and Rice Meadow Way, are on that list from what was approved over two past periods with council. So the 93 roads are down to a list of 15 roads. 93 plus 40, I'm sorry, are down to a list of 15 roads totaling 3.6 miles. What we're doing and what came out of the process in working with legal is, we're acquiring right-of-ways like that where it may be abandoned because there's really no developer there. There's no bond there. So we are finding out who the property owners are, and a lot of times on these roads there's multiple property owners because there's a subdivision of the right-of-way as you enter the development. So we are approaching them to acquire the right-of-way. If there's a issue in that process determined, we will then go to another process such as condemnation. And in doing that, we've obtained a appraiser that provides a reasonable fair market value for a roadway. So that's how we'll complete that list, and we continue. We have one real estate agent that continues to work on that, plus bringing in all the new development. So for the larger list of projects, the 22 miles, we have private residential that's 22.2 miles. We have a list of homeowner association roads where the right-of-way has been turned over to the HOA for about 4.1 miles. And then there's commercial industrial, which wouldn't typically be county maintained roads of 0.9 miles. And those are part of that longer list there. So of that, we're gonna look at, is the road intended to be public or remain private? Is it a gated community or a community where the HOA intends to have it private? What's the road condition? We'll determine if it meets county standards, which is very key. And then the cost, if it doesn't meet county standards, the cost to bring it to county standards. So going back to the list of 40 and 93, the reason we came to council, or the Public Works came to council at that time, was that they didn't meet county standards. If a road and its right-of-way and its drainage systems meets county standards, we just bring them in per new development, guidelines. We wouldn't need to come to county council. Deeds are created, and those are reviewed by the legal office. And then the final step is they have to be approved by Administrator Brown. So it's important to isolate what meets standards and what doesn't. So I mentioned in the next steps of the briefing document on page 99 that it would take us 6 months to complete this task for that larger list of 22 miles. We'll work to provide a list of roads which remain, that remain, are intended to remain private. We'll obtain right-of-way, obtain the right-of-way of the public use roads that meet county standards. In other words, we can do that in our normal process, but we'll provide a list of public use roads which do not meet county standards and estimate what the cost of bringing them in was, because those are elements that the county council was very, in the past, interested in knowing, okay, if it doesn't meet standards and you're asking us to bring them in, what kind of cost does it take to bring those to standards?
Mr. Branham, you're recognized.
Yeah, thanks. Certainly, I was focused on an addendum, and you've got a lot of good information addressing exactly what I asked for here in the pages previous to that addendum. So thank you for calling attention to that. And it also sounds like you've made a lot of good progress. Would you say, Mr. Maloney, over the last year?
Yes, sir. A number of developments. I mean, at least in the last year, it's been over 20 roads that have come in. So yeah, out of the 93 and 40, we're looking at 134 as far as the total and bringing it down. So, and that started in my era, like 4.5 years ago, really, when they got going on it. So, it's been a pretty good number each year coming in.
Okay. So as you indicated, the staff is the one who brought it to council. You feel like it's been worthwhile for us to have it on this agenda for the last year?
It was, because it just kind of solidified what our processes and what we need to do. Things like, the process of acquisition when we need to, and what tools we can use and what we can't use, basically ruling out other options.
Okay, and then it sounds like maybe next big moment in the process would be the report in the winter of 25, 26.
Yes, sir.
Does that sound accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, thanks again for the update and for the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions about this item? Thank you. That brings us to item 7B. And for the record, I wrote this motion and also don't want to read it again. In terms of evaluating our permitting process, and we've received previous updates that staff has enfolded this effort in the efforts to update the comprehensive plan. Are there any other questions for the body, from the body? Hearing none, we have item 7C regarding a neighborhood master plan for Ballantyne. Any questions from the body? You're recognized, Councilman Branham.
I don't have any questions, but I did just want to give an update to the committee and for anyone interested in the community. I've had the opportunity of just in speaking engagements a few months ago, speaking to the Ballantyne Community Association, was able to describe to them the nature and the intentions of the motions that I've made there on the agenda. And certainly they kind of originated through conversations had with the Ballantyne Community Association. And I also had a chance to speak to the Chapin Chamber of Commerce Ballantyne Business Breakfast. So that was a perfect group to be able to also speak to and solicit feedback. And the motion was well received. And so appreciate the staff's continued work on this. I know that we'll be looking to receive a report from staff in the fall, and look forward to speaking with them then as we continue to try to work to see if we can get this to a full council by the end of the year, which would just be an estimate to go in tandem with the comprehensive plan update. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to you and to staff on all the work on this and looking at overlay districts as an option that might make more sense than a neighborhood master plan and be more precision targeted towards what communities are trying to do. So I think this is a great effort. Item number 8 is adjournment. It is non-debatable and non-deferrable. Madam Clerk.
Yes.
Teratio,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes?
English,
Yes.
Newton.
Yes,
Motion approved.
the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.